Our goal is to take you through the crucial stages of your puppy's development and the associated training and tips needed to develop and maintain an effective and healthy relationship. Please follow along as we go through our puppy folder and walk you through the first several months of your puppy's life. There are 3 stages of development your puppy will go through before they join your family. The first stage is the neonatal stage, and this occurs from birth to 12 days. The second is a transition period, which occurs from 13 to 20 days. And the third stage is called the primary socialization stage, which starts at 3 weeks of age and goes to 7 weeks of age. Once your puppy joins your family, they will be in the human socialization stage, which starts at 7 weeks and ends somewhere between 12 to 14 weeks of age. During this stage, they will also go through the fear impact period. You can expect your puppy to go through this period when they are 8 to 11 weeks old. The human socialization stage is when the most rapid learning occurs. Your puppy is like a sponge, absorbing everything. The greatest impact on future social behavior will be made by any experience that happens during this time. Although your puppy will still benefit from continued socialization, it is not as effective after 14 weeks of age. In terms of veterinary care, you will have 1 visit during this period to get your puppy their second booster vaccine around 12 weeks of age. Most breeders will have already taken the puppies to their veterinarian for their first vaccination around 8 weeks of age. It will be important that you and your veterinary team create a very positive experience at this visit. You can do this by using treats and toys before, during, and after your visit. The fear impact period is when puppies start to learn from bad experiences. This means anything that frightens your pup could have a lasting effect. This is when trips to the vet need to be as pleasant as possible, and we would suggest you bring your puppy here just for fun to get them used to the clinic and our staff. Going in for multiple social visits can be incredibly beneficial for your pup to ensure they enjoy coming into the clinic throughout their life. The next stage of development is called the juvenile period, which occurs between the socialization period and puberty. At this point, your puppy has been in the home for approximately 4 weeks. They will be testing boundaries as they mature and learning what behaviors are appropriate. It is important to know that your pup will be teething at this time as their adult teeth are coming in. Using appropriate chew toys will be ideal to aid in any discomfort they may be experiencing. Providing structure of your puppy's time is key to ensure this transition be relatively smooth. Puppy training classes would be a great idea to start at this time. These classes help create a strong foundation for training and good behaviors while simultaneously enhancing you and your family's bond with your puppy. Training classes also provide a safe environment for your puppy to interact with other dogs and learn doggy social skills, which are incredibly important to ensure your pup will be a confident and well-adjusted adult dog you can trust interacting with other dogs and people. Training classes are a controlled environment where you can be certain that all the puppies in the class have been vaccinated. In terms of veterinary care, your puppy should be receiving their 3rd vaccination or a DAP titer test, and discussion about the rabies vaccine, fecal analysis, and heartworm and parasite prevention should take place with your veterinarian. The adolescent period is the next stage of development. This starts with puberty and ends with sexual maturity. Your puppy may test all the rules. This means that they may not come when called or play fetch, even though they have done so before. Consistency and predictability are essential during this stage. This stage can be quite difficult to go through, as it is similar to a teenager going through puberty. Remember, their bodies are changing physiologically, and rapid growth may cause physical discomfort. More exercise may help with these changes, as well as tire them for calmer times at home. Sometimes unwanted behaviors stem from boredom or anxiousness, so providing mental stimulation is important to encourage brain development. Being aware of these changes will help get you through this period. Using a long leash will help when your pup decides not to come when called. Providing safe, appropriate chews and bones should help with your puppy's need to chew during this stage. It is at this time that a discussion of when and if you should spay or neuter your pup should be taking place with your veterinary team. You may also consider microchipping to help with identification if your puppy gets lost or escapes outside. A fecal analysis may also be beneficial to ensure your puppy hasn't picked up any hitchhikers as they have been exploring the world with their mouths throughout all stages of their development. Your puppy will go through a second fear impact period, which can occur between 5 and 12 months. While the 8 to 12 week puppy fear period is in some cases hardly noticed by owners, the second fear period appears to have a much bigger impact. This fear period is believed to be tied to the dog's sexual maturity and growth spurts. This means that in large breeds, it may develop later compared to a smaller dog. Reactivity levels rise during this stage, which may cause your dog to act defensively and become protective and more territorial. It is not uncommon to see a fear response pop out of nowhere. Your dog may suddenly be apprehensive about new things or shy of new people and situations. They may also show a fear response to people and situations they have encountered before, but that did not trigger significant reactions. During this stage, you may find yourself dealing with a dog that is barking and lunging or pulling on the leash, which may cause you to worry about your dog's behavior. To help get your dog through this second fear period, it is important to continue socializing as much as possible without exposing your dog to overwhelming situations or traumatic experiences. It is advised to avoid confrontation during this period. Create positive associations through counter conditioning and build confidence through training and confidence building sports and exercises. Dropping by your vet clinic to work on handling exercises such as ears, mouth, paws, and body, and of course just for fun, can be quite beneficial to continue to show your dog that the vet clinic is a safe place to be. And finally, the last stage of development, maturity. This will occur between 1 to 4 years of age. This is referring to social maturity. If there were gaps in your earlier training, this is when you may see the things you have missed, such as object or resource guarding or unfavorable reactions to unfamiliar people, animals, or things that were missed during the socialization stage. The first 6 months of your puppy's growth and development consists of a lot of milestones. The previous slides have walked us through key points of socialization and veterinary care. As your puppy matures, it is important to return for yearly physical exams. This exam may include vaccinations and/or titer testing. Springtime brings new life and energy, and it is the time of year to return for annual heartworm and tick testing. Depending on your preferences and your pet's lifestyle, prevention medication may be dispensed. We know that the training and socialization your puppy receives during the first 16 weeks of their life will have a lasting impact. It is much easier to live with a happy, well-adjusted dog that is created through a solid foundation than facing an out-of-control pup later on down the road. The Ultimate Puppy Training is broken down into 5 basic learning sections. The first and second sections, socialization and prevention, go hand in hand. These are the most time-sensitive periods in your puppy's training. In this section, you will learn how to successfully socialize your new pup by doing simple exercises that will help prevent your puppy from developing common behavioral problems. The third section is the extra fun part, playing games with your pup. Brain-stimulating games help your puppy with development as well as foster an amazing human-animal bond. Fourth is called life skills. The Ultimate Puppy Program will direct you to use positive reinforcement to teach your puppy the basics. It's all about keeping it positive. The final component is house training. This is where you will find clear and simple instructions to help you teach your puppy good bathroom habits. The website also has a resources section, which will direct you where to go with your training and behavior questions. The Ultimate Puppy has a strong emphasis on how to socialize your puppy and teach them preventative style exercises. There is concrete evidence to indicate that providing the right kind of input and guidance into your dog during the first 6 months of their life has a significant impact on the future livelihood of that dog. Once the critical period of your puppy's development is past, it can be difficult, if not impossible, to socialize a dog to certain relationships, situations, and stimuli. Behavioral problems are nearing one of the biggest reasons why dogs are rehomed or find themselves in shelters, and most of these problems are preventable with proper training. With proper socialization, you can raise a well-adjusted dog who can handle each and every situation they are confronted with. Please do not wait for 6 months to go by before starting any training. Training should begin as soon as you bring your puppy home. Waiting until your puppy is 6 to 8 months old to begin training will result in an incredibly difficult task as this is their adolescence period. Early socialization and preventative work is essential. Through the process of obedience training, your pup will be able to do things such as walking on a loose leash, sit, down, stand, stay, and come when they're called. These are essential commands for a dog to respond to in order to live safely and harmoniously in our lives. Understanding how dogs see the world will help you be successful when establishing a new relationship with them. Finding what motivates your puppy will be the key for successful training. The strongest motivator is typically food, but games, toys, affection, and playtime with other dogs are also great motivators. It is important to know that dogs learn from their experiences, much like us. We often do not repeat behaviors that cause unpleasantness, but will repeat ones that are rewarding. The same can be said for our dogs. Most behaviors that we perceive as problematic may be natural for a dog, and the ones we want from them may not be. What is safe and what is dangerous are the two things your dog is concerned about. They do not necessarily understand the difference from right or wrong as we perceive it, so we will have to teach them. They do not do things out of spite or jealousy, and it can be dangerous for us to impose human values on them. It is important to recognize that dogs are predators. They want to chase, catch, and chew, as that is ingrained in them. And finally, dogs are not born with the sole desire to please us. Their desire is in what they see as the reward. Please refer to the handout entitled Guilty or Innocent. Do pets know they have done something wrong when they act guilty? For more information on how pets learn and understand the world around them. Before we dive deeper, we want to remind you of a few things. Start your training with the areas that you are most comfortable with. The goal is to ensure you are covering all of the different components involved in raising a good puppy, but there isn't a right or wrong place to start. Use whatever tools work best for you. There are many different training tools available, but that doesn't mean they all work in every situation or with every puppy. Keep in mind that you're not making progress using one method. There are always several other options to try. And finally, do not lose sight of the big picture. Training a puppy takes love and time. You will have very successful training sessions, but you may also have sessions that don't progress as expected. This is normal, so please do not be discouraged. As a pet parent, you may not be sure of what tools you may need to start training your puppy. So let's go over those. Treats will be your first on the list and your go-to. Food is typically the biggest motivator for dogs. Remember to aim for low-calorie treats, as you will be giving a lot. If you're feeding a kibble diet, some owners opt to use one of their puppy's meals as treats. A treat pouch will definitely come in handy and can be hooked to your waistband for easy access to the food. A collar is a must. To size a collar properly, you should be able to place 2 fingers under the collar when it is fastened. Remember to remove the collar when your pup is in the crate for safety reasons. Finally, it is not uncommon for puppies to react to the collar by pawing at it and crying. This does not mean a collar is not an option. Time will be your friend as you allow your puppy to be accustomed to the collar. Distractions like games and toys while your pup first wears their collar will help them to become used to it. Remember to adjust the fit of your collar as your puppy grows. If your puppy is a puller, you may want to look into a no-pull harness or Promise Halter gentle leader for better control. A good pet store will help you find the right harness for your puppy and your situation. You will need a leash, of course. Off-leash training can be very difficult as your puppy will be easily distracted by stimulus and you may find it difficult to keep them focused if you're not physically attached to them. You will want the leash to be a proper length. To get the proper length of leash, hold it at your belly button level and it should hang down a few inches past where it is connected to your puppy's collar. Be sure that the buckles and snaps are appropriately sized and are not weighing your pup down excessively. Let your puppy drag the leash around for a while to get the feel for the weight and strangeness of it. Playing with toys and games will help your puppy get used to the leash being attached. An extra long leash will also be quite useful as it will allow your puppy some freedom to explore in areas where you may not be comfortable with letting them run off leash. These long leashes are typically 15 to 30 feet in length. A tool you do not want to go without is a crate. When you take a closer look at the house training portion of the Ultimate Puppy program, you will find more information about the importance and benefits of crating your puppy. The crate should be big enough for your puppy to stand up, turn around, and lie down in. You can buy a crate that the puppy will grow into during the months that you use it, but you'll need to make the crate small with something while your puppy is young. Remember, you want to make sure that whatever you use is not something your puppy could chew and hurt themselves in. Empty storage containers can be quite useful to make the crate the proper size for your growing pup. Finally, the most fun tool of them all, toys. Having toys that you can fill with food provide a quiet but brain-stimulating activity that typically occupies your pup for a longer period of time. Toys that make sounds are amazing to get your pup's attention. There are many different types of toys out there, and just like children, your puppy may develop their favorites. If you choose to play tug of war with your puppy, please keep in mind the following. It is important to play gently and never pull harder than your puppy. Their teeth can be easily damaged or even pulled out. You should be careful to pull in a downward motion or at their face level to reduce strain on your puppy's neck and back. One advantage to playing tug is that it is a great time to teach your puppy how to drop objects when asked by using a drop it command. Finally, it is recommended to avoid rope toys as the fine fibers can wrap around their teeth and cause trauma to their teeth and gums. If you happen to have 2 or more dogs in your home, it is important that you work with your puppy independently from the other dogs, even if the other dog is also a puppy. There are 2 main reasons for this. First, it allows your puppy to bond with you strongly, and second, if the 2 dogs spend too much time together, especially if they're litter mates, they stand a chance bonding more with each other than with you. Rest assured that outside of training sessions, your dogs will have plenty of time to become great pals. One of the most important skills you must teach a puppy is bite inhibition. Bite inhibition is when a puppy learns the skill of using a soft mouth when interacting with their playmates, whether it is a human or an animal. Play fighting and play biting are essential in helping to develop a soft mouth as an adult dog. Puppies generally start to learn this skill by interacting with their litter mates and mom during their first few weeks of life. Puppies label everything in the world as sentient, meaning it is able to feel, or non-sentient, meaning it is okay to consume or destroy. One of the best lessons on how to respond to a puppy when it bites too hard can be learned by how children react during play. Children are constantly making noise, laughing, and giggling when playing. If the puppy bites too hard, the child will go absolutely still for a moment before they start to scream or cry, sending a very clear message to the puppy that they caused hurt. This sudden freezing is also demonstrated by other puppies as a response to a bite that is too hard or painful during play. Good bite inhibition can be the difference between a bite that results in nothing more than a scare and one that causes serious damage. Bite inhibition must be taught during puppyhood, as it is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to teach that to an adult dog. Dr. Ian Dunbar's article on bite inhibition included in your puppy folder will walk you through the steps of teaching this vital skill. Bite inhibition is so important, we wanted to take a moment to review these important points. Teaching bite inhibition is extremely important. Playing with other puppies is an important first step in your puppy learning bite inhibition. Bite inhibition is a 2-part process. It starts with teaching your puppy to bite softly and then progresses to teaching them not to bite at all. Start your training by reacting to only the hardest of bites. Yelp loudly to tell your puppy he hurt you, and pause your play. After restarting play, if your puppy immediately bites hard again, yelp again and leave the room for a few minutes. As your puppy learns to bite softer, begin reacting to the next hardest bites until he is mouthing very softly all the time. Hand feed kibble or treats and only release the food when your puppy is not biting at you. Once your puppy has a soft mouth, begin teaching off or leave it. Once your puppy has learned off or leave it, begin using the cue when your puppy starts to mouth until the mouthing behavior is gone. The document titled Puppy Training FAQ, found in the puppy package, outlines where to find answers on the Ultimate Puppy website for 11 of the most common puppy problems. We will touch on the most common struggles you may encounter with your puppy, and the website is an amazing resource to help navigate all of your training questions. So let's dive in. When your puppy goes wild biting you and grabbing onto your pants, it is often the result of too much free or unsupervised time. Providing guidance and structure for your puppy will be key. Redirecting these unwanted behaviors by providing items that you're okay for your puppy to chew and bite is a good place to start. Alternatively, having your pup perform a desired behavior like sit or down can also redirect their attention to something positive. Another method you could try is when your puppy is biting or grabbing at you is to yelp loudly, mimicking how their littermates will respond in the same situation. Displaying responses similar to how a littermate might respond might be a more effective way of communicating with your puppy, as you're engaging in a way they understand better. Of course, it is important to recognize that this method may not work for all pups and situations and may make the puppy more excited. One of the main goals at this point is to teach good habits from day one, and don't forget to reward your puppy when they do something that you want. Struggling with your puppy having accidents as soon as he comes indoors after being outside can be frustrating for sure. It begs the question, why? It is important to always supervise your puppy when trying to be successful with house training. Many pups get distracted by exploring the wonderful outside world and often do not eliminate right away. One way to help teach toilet training is by keeping your puppy on a leash until they have eliminated, then offer a high value reward. After this time, allow them to explore off leash in a secure area. Knowing if your puppy's bladder is empty or full when they come back is important and gives you a better idea if there is a chance of having an accident in the house. Access around the house should be restricted until house training is complete. This is when keeping your pup close to you when inside will be crucial, and when this is not possible, crate training will be your best friend. The third most common unwanted behavior is when your puppy is chewing items in your house. Let's remember that your puppy is exploring the world with their mouth. As their teeth develop, puppies have a very strong desire to gnaw on things. Providing appropriate chew toys and limiting access to inappropriate objects is recommended. When your puppy chases children, it may seem like a fun game at first, but can quickly become problematic. Chasing is not an appropriate behavior. Dogs are hardwired to chase, catch, and chew. Often children can overstimulate dogs just by being, well, children. Running around erratically while shrieking and waving their hands can seem like prey for a dog. Right from day one, it is recommended that you teach your puppy and the children how they may interact and what appropriate play is. Referring back to how your dog sees the world in the Getting Started section will help you navigate appropriate play. Don't forget that utilizing a long leash while allowing your puppy to play with children is a great idea. If play gets inappropriate, it will be allowing you to immediately intervene until your pup's recall command becomes solid and reliable. Additionally, we would direct you to the prevention section to read about children and dogs. There are other areas on the Ultimate Puppy website that you can read through that will give you even more information on how to teach good behaviors that will keep your puppy and your children safe. You can find this information in the Games and Life Skills sections. If your puppy is barking in the crate, this does not mean you cannot crate your pup. Is the barking for attention, to be let out of the crate, or maybe they need to go outside to eliminate? A puppy will get accustomed to their crate when it is associated with favorite toys and treats. Using food-filled toys in the crate will help teach your puppy that the crate is a safe and comfortable place to be. Crate training is an essential part of puppy rearing. The crate offers a safe place for your puppy to rest and learn to have independent time from the rest of the home. It is not uncommon for your puppy to be frightened by strange objects, people, other pets, and sounds. Changing the meaning of these situations to be a more pleasant situation is called socialization. This process needs to be a gradual one. Later, we will go through the social schedule for your pup and outline many common scary situations and what to do to help your puppy become more comfortable. The socialization section on the website will also go into further detail on how to help your puppy become confident in typical scary scenarios. If your puppy urinates every time they meet someone new, that is called submissive urination, and it is quite common. Ignoring this behavior is very important. Please don't reprimand your puppy for this behavior, as it will just worsen the situation. Most puppies will outgrow this problem as they mature and develop more confidence. We talked earlier about how your puppy explores the world with their mouths. This means that they will likely pick up everything with their mouths on walks. This is natural for them. It is recommended that you condition your pup to not want to guard found objects and happily release anything they may get in their mouths. Teaching your pup a command like out or drop it is very important. Don't forget to reward your pup when they do let go of items and or drop them on command. The trade you, drop it, and come away from distraction sections on the website will be particularly helpful in these situations. The goal is that you have control of what your dog puts in their mouths. Grooming and handling should be part of your everyday puppy training. Unfortunately, you can't sit your dog down and explain to them the benefits of being groomed. As a result of this, grooming can be something that causes them stress if they have not been desensitized to the processes and tools of grooming. Training should consist of short, frequent sessions with plenty of praise and treats. The attention span of your puppy is not very long at this stage. Putting in the groundwork now will definitely set your pup up for a confident and stress-free future. Find a quiet place away from distractions for training. Choose a time that you are not stressed or rushed and your puppy is a little tired and a little hungry. Start by touching your pup all over with your hands, keeping an eye out for any particular areas they are sensitive to you being near. Regularly give treats to make sure your puppy is happy. Make sure your puppy is 100% comfortable being touched with your hands before you move on to using any tools like brushes or combs. Once your puppy is used to being touched normally, ensure that your puppy is comfortable being touched inside their ears, around their eyes, nose, legs, feet, and private parts. Getting your pet to be calm and relaxed while being handled in this way will not help only with grooming, but also with visits to the vet clinic. Take a look at the game section, where you will learn about getting your puppy more interested in playing with toys and to strengthen your bond together. The game Hide and Seek is an excellent example of this. You can hide treats or a toy. Next, call your pup to come. Each time they come to you, they get to search for the treats or their favorite toy. This strengthens your puppy's recall and gives them the opportunity to exercise their sniffing skills. Finally, let's look at introducing your puppy to car rides. Often puppies will be restless, whine, and bark when they go into the car. Despite being a terrific way to get out and about for early socialization, it can be a lot to take in and be stressful and overstimulating for your pup. Teaching your pup to be calm in the car from the get-go will be important. You can use treats and toys as positive reinforcement to let your puppy know that the car is a great place. Don't forget safety first. Using a dog safety belt or crate is highly recommended. In the puppy package folder you receive from us, you will find a document titled A Social Schedule. This is a comprehensive list of people, places, and things you should try to expose your puppy to. The goal is to expose them to as many of these things as possible. It is important to pay attention to how your pup reacts when exposed to each item on the list. Recognizing when your puppy is frightened is crucial to ensure negative associations are not created. They may exhibit fear by trying to back away or tuck their tail between their legs. When these behaviors are displayed, it is recommended to diffuse the situation by making the experience as positive as possible by trying the following. Use a silly voice, treat, toy, or game to help counter the scary situation. If your puppy's overwhelmed, back away and let them relax again before reattempting the exposure. Start at a further distance away and build your pup's confidence by slowly approaching the stimuli. Your goal is for your puppy to be comfortable and confident around stimuli that was previously scary to them. We know that chewing is important for dogs, both for their physical and mental well-being. We recommend chews that can mitigate the risk of breaking teeth while providing enrichment. The rule of thumb is anything that is hard enough that you would not want to hit your kneecap with may cause a tooth to break. Raw bones that are handled and packaged for the purpose of raw feeding are fairly safe. They will be found in the freezer section of the pet food stores that carry raw diets. Real bones should be fed raw, and remember, some dogs cannot stomach the fatty content, so they need to be introduced carefully and for only short chew times initially until you can see how your puppy tolerates them. Giving bones that are large in diameter so that your puppy has to open their mouth wide in order to chew on them will help them to decrease the chances that they can bite down with enough force to cause a broken tooth. It is the flat, small, narrow bones that are most likely to cause broken teeth. Pet stores will provide a variety of items that can be good options. There are a number of dehydrated products that can make good chews, such as tracheas, tendons, and bully sticks. They will last different lengths of time for chewing depending on how avid a chewer your puppy is. Generally, any of the calm products are good chew toys. With many of them, you can put a small amount of food, either a liver treat or something like coconut oil, on the inside to encourage your puppy to chew on them. You will want to avoid the following though. Cooked or baked bones can be a concern as they are very hard and have a tendency to splinter, which can increase the risk of your puppy ingesting a large and/or a sharp piece of bone. Please keep in mind that all chews need to be thrown out when they get to a size where it might be possible for them to be swallowed. So let's summarize. Start training and provide structure as soon as your puppy joins your family. This will have a significant positive impact on the future livelihood of your puppy and create a well-adjusted and confident adult dog. Start where you're most comfortable. The goal is to ensure you are covering all of the different issues involved in raising a good puppy, but there is no right or wrong place to start. Remember that not all training sessions will be productive, and that is okay. Just like us, puppies all learn at different rates. If you're not making progress using one method, there are usually several others to try. Don't lose sight of the big picture. Finally, your veterinary team, a trainer providing socialization classes, and the Ultimate Puppy website are great resources for support and to answer any questions that you may have. This concludes our Ultimate Puppy Talk. If you have any questions for our team, please don't hesitate to reach out and we'll be happy to help. You can email us at info@mainstreetvetservices.ca or give us a call at 519-203-2000.